What's up guys, today I'm going to be going over the two new Trials weapons. I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video on these two weapons because I wasn't sure if I was going to play Trials or not, but the new rework is pretty good and I had a decent time while playing Trials and I just played one card. I was like, let's just see what loot I get. If I get some good loot, I'll make the video, and it turns out I kind of got exactly what I wanted pretty quickly. So in this video we'll be going over the sniper and the hand cannon. So starting off with the sniper, the Keen Thistle. This thing has a few good rolls, one which is an anomaly, and that's going to be triple tap plus 4 times the charm. Both perks give ammo from thin air back to the magazine, and with these things working in tandem, it gets pretty silly pretty quickly. So this is a 72 RPM sniper, which means the highest mag size you can get is 5, but from that 5 ammo, if you don't miss, if you do hold the math and analyze the triple taps and 4 times the charm procs, the 5 ammo should go all the way up to 19, 14 of which from thin air before you have to reload. And I've shot at this Lost Sector boss a few times with a div to help, and there is still a bug that's been around forever where sometimes when shooting a div bubble, it counts as 2 precision hits, which means you'll proc triple tap in 2 bullets and 4 times the charm in 3. And whenever that happens, it just exponentially increases the mag size. If it happens once, as you see in both of these clips, you can then shoot 23 in a row. And if it happens twice, I think it's something like 30. So if the game works as intended, you should be able to shoot 19. But on a div bubble, every once in a while, you'll get faster procs. And yeah, you just get basically infinite mag size. And we look at damage on the strike boss. It's only for 51,000. Then this weapon with max reserves holds 26, so 5 mags plus 1 left over. And every mag turns into 19 bullets, which means a total ammo of 96 if you don't miss with this roll, taking the DPS to 69,000, and the total damage just under 5 million, which is absolutely wild for a legendary special weapon. That is absurd. So what are some of our rolls you can get on the sniper? In the left, you could go for Envious Arsenal. I think triple tap is just always better on a sniper for the free ammo. But there are some situations with swap combos where Envious Arsenal could be better, so maybe keep one if you get it. Other than 4 times the charm, you can run with bait and switch for the 30% damage increase. And if we look at that plus triple tap, the big difference is you're going to be able to shoot 7 per mag instead of the full 19, which means you're going to have to reload a lot more often, but you do get the 30% more damage per bullet, taking DPS of 1 mag to 96, a lot higher. Over 2, it starts to fall off to 77. And as you shoot off all of your reserves, it'll be kind of close to the previous numbers. But the big difference is way less total damage, only having a total of 36 bullets compared to the 96 with 4 times the charm. And moving on to the hand cannon, this thing's kind of a monster in terms of the rolls you can get on the scene. So starting off in the left, we have Destabilizing Rounds, which just got a huge buff. And that's going to be the go-to perk in the left. Destabilizing Rounds is so good now where when you get the final blow, it'll create the volatile burst. And as long as that applies to any other target, you'll then get volatile rounds for 4.5 seconds, which is really good. Volatile rounds is among the best ad clear in the game for a primary weapon. And it's definitely a must-use perk after the update. So what can we pair in the right with that? Well, there's actually quite a few great options. The first is the 2 damage perks. First being One for All. One for All is going to be a 35% buff after hitting 3 separate targets, and unfortunately the volatile explosions or volatile bursts do not count as one for all hits. But when you're using hand cannon in PvE, you're going to be hitting 3 targets quite often just from using the weapon. With it lasting for 10 seconds, 11 with enhanced, you should have no problem really keeping this perk up at all times. And this perk is also very good for hard content where there is no kill activation needed for the damage buff. So even taking this thing into a GM, you'll get that 35% going. And it's just really strong to pair with the Destabilizing Rounds. Then the other damage perk is going to be Magnificent Howl. This one takes more upkeep to get going, where every precision final blow grants 1 stack of the buff when you reload, up to a max of 10. Then once you have them reloaded and readied, every shot will do 50% more damage, and every precision final blow will refund that stack. So technically, you can just get 1 precision final blow, reload, get the 1 stack. As long as you keep getting precision final blows, it'll just constantly refresh that 1 stack. And with it being 50% among the highest damage buffs for primaries in the game, you'll be able to one-tap a lot of things with that perk. So that is also a great combo. Overall, I definitely want destabilizing rounds plus one of the 2 damage perks. I already got it with One for All. I wouldn't mind getting one with Magnificent Howl also, but I think whichever perk you get will work. Then we have the 2 utility ones, the old classic of Repulsor Brace. The overshields have gotten buffed time and time again, but I still don't really see them being that meta. There's so many healing sources in this game that I'm not sure if you need a perk just for overshield, but with the buff to the volatile rounds and all that good stuff, I think this is a good combo, but there's all kinds of other primaries in the game that already have this combo, so it's not necessarily unique to this weapon. If anything, it's kind of weird that these 2 perks are on this weapon, but in the opposite column that they normally are. So the combination and the utility perk that is more unique to this weapon is going to be the new perk Demoralize, where precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened. And it is on an internal cooldown of roughly like a second and a half. But when you get precision final blows, everything nearby becomes void weakened, 15% debuff. That combined with the volatile rounds from destabilizing, you get a final blow and everything nearby is weakened, and volatile is just a really cool void combo. You kind of apply both of those strong void effects on every single final blow. And that is the role I definitely want on this weapon. I think will be really good in future seasons. Right now, unfortunately, a lot of these perks on this weapon aren't that relevant, because through the artifact, we can get both effects for any void weapon. You can get the volatile rounds from the rapid precision hits or final blows. And then we also have the effects of Demoralize with the weakened burst from another perk in the artifact. So right now, this hand cannon might not be that relevant, but once we're moved on from this artifact, I think this will be a great PvE weapon that is kind of worth playing Trials for. So overall, if you're someone that wasn't going to play Trials at all, is it worth getting the sniper? Probably not. It is a very unique role that might be good in some situations where you need crazy total damage. But on the other hand, I think the hand cannon is worth playing. It just depends on your tolerance level, and with the rework where you kind of get loot just for generally playing. Obviously, if you win, you get more loot, but just playing, losing, winning, whatever it is, kind of showers you in a decent amount of loot. I think it is worth playing for a while, getting some engrams, popping these, and seeing if you can get a few good rolls. I know myself, I'm going to be in Trials quite often this season just to get the destabilizing plus demoralize, and I probably won't just grind it like, 10-hour sessions. I'll just play an hour or two here and there every weekend, and hopefully just get it over a long run. And you know what? Maybe like Iron Banner, just towards the end of the season, the vendor roll will be the god roll, so make sure not to pull the hand cannon from the vendor, in case, at the very last minute, the vendor one is just a god roll. That was really fun in Iron Banner. I'm glad I played Iron Banner when it came out instead of just waiting for the god roll to be there for free. That'd been nice to know. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for the video. Like usually, let me know what role you want on the sniper and the hand cannon. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.